Welcome to Horror Tales Official, where we dive into the creepiest, most spine-chilling stories straight from Reddit. If you love a good scare or just want to hear some eerie tales that will make you question what goes bump in the night, you're in the right place. I'll be your guide as we explore true-life horror stories shared by people just like you. So grab your favorite snack, settle in, and let's get into the darkness together. Don't forget to subscribe for your regular dose of chills. So, let me tell you about something that happened to me a few years back. I still can't shake it off, and every time I hear a creak in the night, it takes me right back to that creepy summer. I was living in this old house I rented near the woods. It was one of those places that looked charming on the outside but felt a little off inside. You know what I mean? Like, it had that vintage vibe, but it was just too quiet, like it was holding its breath. The first few nights were fine. I set up my space, decorated, and even invited some friends over. We had a blast, and I felt like I was living the dream. But then things started to change. It started with these weird whispers. At first, I thought it was just the wind or the house settling. Classic horror movie setup, right? But it wasn't just random noises. It felt intentional, like someone was trying to talk to me. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and there it was, this low, raspy whispering, like it was right beside my ear. I'd look around, convinced someone had broken in, but nothing. Just me and the shadows. I tried to brush it off, telling myself I was just being paranoid. I'd even joke with my friends when they came over, saying I was haunted. But deep down, I was unsettled. One night, I decided to record the sounds. I thought maybe I could catch something on my phone, just for my own peace of mind. I set it up on my bedside table and went to sleep. The next morning, I was a little nervous to listen to it, but I needed to know if I was just losing it. I pressed play, and at first, it was just the sounds of the night, the wind, the rustling leaves. But then, around 3 a.m., there it was. A voice. I could barely make out the words, but it felt like someone was saying my name. Lila, Lila. It sent shivers down my spine. I thought, okay, maybe it was just my mind playing tricks on me. I decided to ignore it. But then the shadows got bolder. I'd be in the kitchen making dinner, and I'd catch movement out of the corner of my eye. Just a flicker, but it was enough to freeze me in my tracks. I'd whip around, and nothing. Just the kitchen with its old wooden cabinets and that stupid cat I had, who never seemed fazed by anything. I started to think I was losing it. Then came the night that changed everything. I had just finished a long week of work, and I was exhausted. I climbed into bed, ready to pass out, when I heard it again. This time, it was louder, more insistent. Lila, come play. I shot up, heart racing. I knew no one else was in the house. My friends had left hours earlier, and I hadn't invited anyone over. I grabbed my phone, ready to call for help, when I heard a giggle, a child's giggle. Now, I've always been one to watch horror movies, but being in a situation like this, completely different ballgame. I threw on some clothes and dashed downstairs, convinced I'd find someone in my living room. But nothing. Just the empty space filled with old furniture and shadows. At this point, I was done. I grabbed my keys and went to crash at my friend's place. I couldn't shake that feeling of being watched, like the shadows were moving, shifting just out of sight. I stayed at their house for a few days, telling myself I'd figure things out. When I returned to my place, I was determined to face whatever was going on. I smudged the house with sage, lit candles, and tried to create a good vibe. I even left an offering of chocolate on the kitchen table, thinking maybe if there was something there, it would back off. But things only escalated. One night, I was lying in bed, scrolling through Reddit, looking for advice on dealing with hauntings, when I felt a weight at the end of my bed. I froze. It felt like someone was sitting there, and I could feel the mattress dip. I turned my phone's flashlight on and shined it toward the foot of the bed. Nothing. But as I was about to relax, I felt a cold breath on my neck. I bolted up, turned on all the lights, and checked every corner of my room. I found nothing, but I could still feel that presence, like it was angry or frustrated that I was ignoring it. I decided right then and there that I needed help. I reached out to a paranormal investigator who came over a couple of days later. He set up all this equipment, asking me about my experiences. When he started doing his thing, I felt this strange energy in the air. He walked around with his EMF meter, and it started going crazy near my closet. He opened the door, and I swear I saw something flicker in the shadows. He told me there was definitely something in the house, a spirit, maybe even a child. It had a playful energy but was also frustrated. He suggested a cleansing ritual. Honestly, I was desperate. So we did it, and I felt lighter afterward. The whispering faded, and I started to feel normal again. But even now, I'm not sure if it's really over. Sometimes when I'm home alone, I still hear soft giggles or whispers, especially at night. I think whatever was there is still around, just biding its time. I've learned to live with it, but I always keep a light on. So, yeah, that's my story. Next time you hear a whisper in the dark, just remember, it might be more than just the wind.